How you doing? Scotty Bear back with another video. Today's video is kind of an interesting one. Mexico really hasn't done like a whole bunch about this coronavirus thing, except for, they have kind of encouraged people to stay home. But it doesn't seem like it's totally disrupt everything. But I think it's been okay. Actually, where I'm at specifically, I've been watching the news, and it seems like it's yesterday where they actually had their first case of coronavirus in the area, which has been kind of interesting. It all starts with one, right? You have to maybe think that if there's one, of course, there may be 10, 20, or 50, right? Which kind of brings me to my next story. So I'm over there buying some tortilla chips and salsa, if you can. And this guy literally, it was a tight little bodega, I guess it's called. It wasn't like Walmart, so to speak. And this guy literally walks up over my shoulder and literally coughs over me like some sort of weird fuck. And then, I was really put off by it because, it's like, hello, haven't you heard of the coronavirus? I didn't say anything, actually. It's just, that's the weird thing about Mexico. What do you really say? I mean, it's definitely an interesting situation dealing with this type of pandemic. I feel like some, Mexicans are taking it more serious than others. Obviously, it's very close to the United States. Don't get me wrong. It's not like anything all that much different. But there are some that actually believe that the Americans are bringing it here, which, I think that this is a global thing. And, of course, everybody's affected just a little different based on their, exposure and travel. I think Mexico's gotten a little lucky because they're not traveling here all that much because there's full-blown war zone. The place is occupied by drug cartels for the most part. I mean, the government doesn't have a whole lot of control of Mexico, and so and plus there's been a new focus kind of on the poor, and the rich people haven't really really enjoyed that much actually. Of course it's just like the United States. It's not all that much different. They're asking money from people who got it, and people who got it are not wanting to pay, so it's not all that much different of dynamic, but it's it's interesting. I consider my long-term options here still being an Airbnb. Some countries has told, like Australia's come out and said all foreigners, temporary visas, get out of the country. And I gotta tell you from that standpoint, I mean, the smartest thing to do is stay where you are. I mean, I got friends definitely in Dodge everywhere. One in Vietnam that's about ready to go on ultra fucking lockdown, and and basically that's what it amounts to. Is I really feel like you travel, then you you spread, right? So. Australia's efforts to get the temporary visas, however, less problems, right? Get these people out of here. So I see the strategy, but I feel like that spreads it more. Actually, if anything, they really need to limit travel. Actually, from what I read online, they had been screening people, taking their temperature and otherwise, like coming into Ensenada. That was definitely in the news, and so it looks like they're aware because in my area where I'm at is it's definitely known for Americans and being able to kind of have a little weekend house down here in Mexico. I mean, a good part of Southern California and well, most California probably is Latino and has. If they're not from Mexico, they definitely have friends and family in Mexico. So, it's not too crazy for them to get a nice weekend trip in Mexico, and weekend trip to Vegas. I mean, so you know, these areas are probably, you know, going to turn out to be hotspots, which, you know, makes me think, what are my, you know, options? And then, of course, these kids that travel into Cabo and, you know, may have spread it there. I don't, you know, I haven't watched the Cabo news so much. Is, you know, Mexico is definitely, you know, lighter hit country, maybe. But man, it would be smarter for them to try to really press down and try to contain, especially if you're a lighter hit country, you got a better shot at survival, right? I guess I don't know. It's a tough one. Or mass outbreak, which I think is the biggest threat. So anyway, it's been kind of an interesting 24 hours. Definitely coming down here the last 10 days where I got to make a move. The options are pretty straightforward. One, stay where I'm at. Two, go for another place, Airbnb. The prices are reasonable. Or C, return to the United States. I don't even know what that looks like. So anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good day.